Hi, this is just I wanted to film a brief introduction because I had filmed a whole thing explaining the setup I'm about to show, and then I realized it was 10 minutes long, and I realized most people probably just want to get right to the example of the sound. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to cut right now, basically, to the example of the engine sound, and then I will, after that, go to the explanation of what I did and just some general thoughts. So if you're interested in that, stick around until after the examples of the sound. And yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment, and I'll try to, get back to everybody. So thanks. So I'm about to pull onto the interstate, and we'll really rev the engine up, and you guys can get an idea of the kind of volume that you get here in the cabin of the vehicle when you're revving, and then when it's under, sort of a sustained load. There is a bit of drone around 1800 RPM, and I will try to point that out. Again, I don't even know if it'll really get picked up on the mic, but here we go. Okay, hopefully you'll forgive the guerrilla style videography here. I am not a video guy, so I'm just kind of doing this with my iPhone or my iPad, and yeah, so it's going to be pretty messy. But anyway, I just wanted to briefly go over what I did with the exhaust system on my 2019 Impala, and then I'll also have some clips showing the results, and basically, everybody's car is going to be different. I don't know if every 10th gen Impala has the same setup or if it changed from year to year. I have no idea. And this was kind of trial and error, but I'll just basically briefly go over what I did, and then I'll show some examples of the sound, and you can get an idea of, what it sounds like to glasspack 2019 Impala, and if it's something that you would want to do with your own. So anyway, that's why I'm doing this. So forgive my amateur schematic here, but this is the best I could do on short notice. So basically, we've got the underside of the vehicle here, the engine compartment, this, whatever this is, would be essentially the exhaust manifold going into the catalytic converter. That runs into the muffler, the central muffler, and then there's a sort of a swoopy S-pipe thing, and that goes into a Y-splitter here, and then from there it branches into two large separate resonator chambers, and then the resonators have just a little tiny exhaust thing that's actually pointed straight down towards the ground, which I find questionable. I don't know why they did it that way, but that's the way they did it stock. So we changed that. So what I did, but I'm a muffler guy. I don't know the first thing about this stuff really, but what we ended up deciding on doing was deleting this central muffler and replacing it with a glass pack. So we put an 18-inch glass pack here. The brand I used was AP Exhaust. I'm sure you could use Cherry Bomb as well, if that's more your style. The Cherry Bombs are probably a little louder and a little higher pitched than the AP Exhaust ones. Personally, I like the AP exhaust ones just because they seem more robust to me, like they'll hold up longer, but I really don't know. I've never really heard anything too bad about cherry bombs, so there's nothing really wrong with them. So, you know, forget I said anything, it doesn't matter. Choose your own brand, it doesn't matter, but I went with AP exhaust. So we went with an 18-inch glass pack in place of the central muffler that ran into this S-pipe. We didn't change anything with the Y-splitter, but then we did a resonator delete and just completely got rid of these. And then he took the little remainder of exhaust pipe that was pointed straight down previously and had it sort of just angled out to the side a bit more, so the exhaust would theoretically be clearing the chassis better. I never noticed anything with exhaust wafting back up into the cabin, despite the openings being pointed straight down. I never noticed anything, but theoretically it could have happened. So he sort of angled it, and it's a good decision to do that. So that's what we went with at first. Basically, we were just, at that point we just had a glass pack and then a Y splitter, and then essentially from there straight piped out. And it sounded great. That wasn't the issue. And the volume, it was loud, but it wasn't obnoxiously loud. I don't think I would have offended anybody. The issue was that created a substantial amount of resonance, physical resonance in the chassis of the vehicle. I'm not by any means a car guy, so I'm just gonna kind of talk out my ass here, but basically, I mean, every engine has some amount of drone. That's just a thing that cars do, and you have to just sort of accept that. The noise of the drone was not the issue. It was that it was causing a literal physical vibration, and it really sounded and felt like the vibration was centered around the rear, where, shocker, they had put these two gigantic resonate. I mean, these things were like the size of business, like, briefcases. They were huge. Like, so I can only theorize that this is an issue Chevy knows about, and therefore, I mean, that's why they put such big resonators on there. And doing a little research, I was able to determine that other people have had this sort of resonance issue with other sort of late model Chevys, presumably others with the V6 engine, maybe even the same LFX engine. I'm not 100% sure, but it seems like it is a fairly common thing. So I would assume this happens to a lot of Chevy models, and they're kind of aware of it. And granted, yeah, the solution they had came up with stock worked very well. The car was essentially silent and never had any resonance issues. But once I removed these resonators, the problem, arose. So basically, here's just a shot of the underside of the vehicle with the glass pack. Hopefully the camera's focusing on this decently well. There we go. Okay. So yeah, so this is an 18-inch glass pack right here. Oh, am I not? Okay. There we go. Doing this in Procreate for some stupid reason, but it's working. So this is an 18-inch. Can't even really read that, but I'm just putting it there anyway. And then, yeah, so you can see here where it's, that's the cat right there. And then you can see where it's just sort of straight piping out, and then it goes into this sort of S-swoop, and that continues around into the Y-splitter. So that's the central portion of the vehicle, the solution we came up with. Before the resonance issue, I should make clear. And then this was the rear end of the exhaust. Obviously, this is when he was still working on it, so it's lowered. It was raised up into the vehicle when we were finished. I don't want anyone thinking it was hanging that low. But, yeah, so you can see here's the Y-splitter. Oops. Cancel. This is a way to make a video. Here's the Y-splitter, as you can see, and then essentially, this was just a big, long, straight pipe coming out here, and I theorize that the resonance issue was mostly being caused by the fact that there were these two big, long, straight pipes, right? I mean, I'm no expert on acoustics or anything like that, but I play a little guitar. I can only theorize that essentially having such a long straight segment of pipe, well, two long straight segments of pipe, they were essentially just vibrating like guitar strings, particularly around the 1600 to 2400 RPM range, peaking around 2000. And it physically vibrated the chassis of the vehicle in a very unpleasant way. So we had to do something about it. And ironically, of course, I mean, your vehicle is going to spend a huge amount of time between 1600 and 2400 RPM. Like, if the resonance peaked at like 6500 RPM or something, it wouldn't even be an issue. But, so yeah, so it was annoying. So what we ended up doing was going back and throwing 2 more glass packs on, and this is the end result of that. You can see here that these long straight pipes have been removed and replaced with 2 12-inch glass packs. Now these are obviously not anywhere near as robust as the stock resonators that were on there, but it doesn't seem to matter. They've really done the trick. There's really no physical vibration in the chassis that I can tell, certainly at least not any more than there was stock. So I consider that, plenty acceptable. There's still an engine drone, of course, and there's still, it's still louder than it was stock, but it's much reduced. So this layout worked really well. So yeah, so just going back to this, we put 12-inch packs here and here, and that worked pretty well. So the only issue with that is it did, of course, lower the volume of the exhaust system a bit more than I had wanted to. I mean, the whole reason I set out to do this was because I wanted to get a more aggressive sound out of the engine. So this solution sort of defeated the purpose to a certain degree. But the good thing about glass packs is they do actually get louder as you break them in. And I can already tell that the car has gotten louder in the week and a half since I got the two additional glass packs put on. So yeah, I mean, it's plenty loud, and it sounds phenomenal. Honestly, I think adding the 2 additional glass packs actually lowered the timbre of the engine and gives it an even more sort of growly sound. It just sounds great. So anyway, I've rambled enough. I will show some clips of just the sound, and if you have any questions, feel free to comment and I'll try to respond. And yeah, thanks for watching.